this is where we left off. We left off with this solar campaign, and it's currently on pause. These guys were just test campaigns that I was setting up. This is another solar campaign. So the problem I was having with this solar campaign was I was getting calls, but no conversions.
Okay.
And the big problem that I discovered about this campaign is when we set it up originally by state. And what we failed to look at closely was, a little misleading here because when you read this, you think, oh, it's just states. But when you click on the spreadsheet has all of these little cities in it, or all these cities in it. And you need to be inside. You need to be inside the city. You need to target the cities in order for these things to convert. And so I had done that, and then I decided to jump ship a little early and move over to raw call rehab.
Okay.
So anyway, that's where we're at. But I want to focus on the solar campaign right now.
Yeah, and I think in general, solar. You also you have to keep in mind that these solar campaigns, the actual call centers that are fielding these calls, not only do these centers focus on solar, but a lot of them do the home services niches. So I mean, this problem that you're talking about with them saying, "Oh, target these states," and then you run the states and you're getting calls outside of these cities. This is going to happen in other types of verticals where they say, oh, target these states. So I think that's probably what you should keep in mind for solar, plumbers, pest control, HVAC, electricians, roofers, tree services, so on and so forth. Because they take all these calls that are coming in, and obviously, this list right here that you're looking at, they have installers in all of these. So they're only going to sell them, sell to the installers within those areas. So, yeah, that's probably something that should be kept in mind in general. And to add to that, each call network kind of runs things a little bit differently. Sometimes their campaign descriptions are really detailed. Sometimes they're not that detailed. They probably should say something along the lines of within these cities in these states or something like that. So also want to reach out to the affiliate manager sometimes and just double check, or always do due diligence on any type of call campaign. You know what I mean?
Call your number, listen to
it. Call your number, listen to it, and see what happens.
I did that actually with this phone number, and this is how I discovered this. Was I called this number because I was getting frustrated, man. I had like a bunch of calls and nothing was working, and so I called the number, and I'm in Monterey, and I'm not on this list, and it's I press number 2, and it says sorry, you're not. It's like, we don't cover you, and it hangs up.
Right.
And that was like the aha moment for me. So yeah, that's a good takeaway, is test your number, do some due diligence, test your number. I don't know if you could do this if they have like a test call you can do, but anyway, yeah, just that was a big takeaway. So yeah, calling my number.
Unless you're running like a raw call or something that just pays on the connection,
right?
You're not going to annoy anybody calling up the number. First of all, just listen to the IVR, listen to what it says, and then just kind of going through the process too. I think if you also see that at a certain point you're generating calls, you're getting conversions, and then like randomly out of nowhere there's like a dip in conversions, but you're still sending the same keyword traffic, probably the same quality calls, and you're getting no conversions. They want to call up the number, and it's happened. You have to keep in mind that all of this technology that we're all working with paper calls, it's all being based off of redirecting of numbers. Potentially 5, 6, 7 numbers are redirecting off of each other at one time.
Yeah.
So The main call center software is called Five9. Have you ever heard of that?
Never heard of it. No.
Okay, Five9 it's a enterprise level, like almost like an enterprise level version of, I'm not going to say Invoca, but it does things where it cycles through reps and can control calls going all through the center. But Five9 is known to have outage problems at times.
Gotcha.
So what I'm saying is, like, if you have like a consistent thing going and then like randomly out of nowhere your conversions drop, like, call the numbers that's happening, reach out to the network, say, hey, what happened here? The majority of the time they're going to credit you if there is a problem.
And that's, I mean, this, we could actually talk about my current rehab campaign where you called the number and I listened, and it went straight to a voicemail, right? And I didn't get the conversion. And so it's like, okay, so big takeaway is, yeah, like you said, it's such a new industry and the technology is still evolving and it's not perfect. So as an affiliate, don't assume that every step of the way is 100% legit and professional. There's going to be issues that you need to be aggressive.
And that honestly goes for calls to installs to leads to trials to any type of sale. There's just problems with tracking. I mean, it's just, things just have. Not only does tracking sometimes not work, stuff happens. Like,
and the big takeaway is it's our responsibility as affiliates to be on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's also your money going out the door trying to send calls.
So. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So another problem and this is probably a big problem that a lot of us are running into, is to I know you guys are talking about 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 keywords in a campaign, and I stopped doing this solar campaign because I got so frustrated with adding keywords. There was a little bit. I mean, I was unclear on adding the keywords and also grouping the keywords and then creating ads. You know, like, I know a part of it's common sense. It's just like, you know, every ad group should have tight niche keywords, and those keywords.
It's just creating relevance. Yeah.
I just got overwhelmed by just the volume of the whole thing, right? Because it's like, okay, it's easy to do 100 keywords. We can do that, no problem. But when you're dealing with 20,000, it's like, where do you start, or where, you know, when do you end? So, any recommendations there in terms of I don't know how important the quality score is. I know it's pretty important in terms of getting your cost per click down. And
I mean, you can look up comprehensive guides that would probably explain it much better than I can right now. Okay. But basically how it works is the higher quality score that you have, which is based traditionally, you know, in AdWords sending a click off a keyword to a landing page, they look at the landing page copy. If the keywords you're targeting are found on the landing page or have relevance between, you know, the people searching and your landing page. They also look at your ad. If your ad has relevance, there you go. Now, if your ad has relevance, and they look at things like the click-through rate. If you have a high click-through rate, it means your users are engaged. So, long story short, the higher your quality score, the less you pay to beat your competition, essentially.
So how are you getting decent quality scores, or do you even care? Is it just kind of purely arbitrage?
I mean, no, you definitely care. And you have to understand it's algorithmic as well. It's not
a person there staring at it.
Yeah, exactly.
You get a 7.
You get a better quality score the longer your traffic runs, and the more you're optimizing and trying to engage users better. Google rewards you. I mean, that's just that's just how it is. So if you have, for instance, you and a competitor bidding on solar Houston, Texas, right? And you're both bidding $1 per click. You have a 10 out of 10 quality score. It's going to take your competitor, who may have a 7 or 6 or 7 out of 10 quality score. He may have to bid $1.25 or $1.30 to take your position at $1, but you only have to bid $1 to get that click. So, I mean,
what is your recommendation in terms of? So what are you doing with your ad groups and your landing pages? Are you running like one landing page, and every ad group is just funneling into that single landing page?
yeah, I mean, you can do a couple different things. It's a little bit different with calls, as they haven't written full-on documentation on how they are verifying a quality score off of a call, because technically on click to call nobody's hitting that landing page.
Right.
So there's a couple different things that guys do. I know that guys they still do the same thing as sending normal clicks to a landing page, where they have like an ad group, and they have a specific page on their site tailored to that ad group, and they submit that to Google, even though they're still running calls. They try to tailor it all together.
So like, okay, I get it. So like,
yeah, and then too with your ads, for sure, because your ad is engaging these calls, pretty much the entire way. You want to make sure these, like, I see, I'm looking at your keywords, like whatever, like solar installer, like you're going to want to make sure that your ad says solar installer or some variation. It doesn't have to be exact, but
I get it.
You're not going to have a group of keywords that says solar installer and then solar power company, whatever,
Right.
Just want to keep it very relevant to each other.
So one thing here's what I started, because we've been using SpyFu, and SpyFu will create ad groups for you.
Right.
But if you look at the keywords that are inside each ad group, you'll find that they're kind of broad, actually. Yep. And so in my opinion, it does a kind of a shitty job of grouping these for you.
Right.
And, it does a job, but it doesn't do a very good job. Right.
Yeah, and I think SpyFu too, and I think this goes for any affiliate in any type of traffic source. There's always going to be tools that excel in certain things. Like, they all try to do multiple things.
Yeah.
Some definitely do things better than others. I think SpyFu, the keyword grouping is decent. There's definitely better options out there, but what SpyFu is really good at is seeing competition's ads very comprehensively. I'm not sure if you've really dug into that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the ad history. I've been digging into that a lot.
I think they do a really good job with that personally.
Yeah, I think it's great too.
But yeah, no, and also too, like, if things suit your style of setting up a campaign, and you are like, oh, SpyFu's okay, but this works better for me, or that,
yeah,
you have to, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't getting off on the wrong foot. I wanted to copy how your workflow, and if I was doing anything extra outside of that, then maybe I'm adding too much into it, So, and I think where we left off was okay.
I mean, there's different, like copying my workflow is good, but if you are more proficient, tweaking it a little, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to get you're using two different tools that group keywords. You just like the way one does it better than the other. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure, because if it's easier, like, because I've been using WordStream and I only have a few days left on that, but it does, in my opinion, does a really great job.
I would say keep using WordStream then.
Yeah, okay. But you guys are having killer success without WordStream, so that's one less step. And that was kind of my point.
And I mean, in general, I've used WordStream for. I use tons of tools. I don't just stick with one thing. SpyFu is very comprehensive, and it does a lot of things for not too much money. There's spy tools out there that cost $500, $600, $700 a month. So for $80, it does a lot of stuff. But WordStream's been one of the
tried and true.
Yeah, it's been one of the top dogs in terms of like software for AdWords stuff.
It's yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a little spendy, but I like it. Okay, yeah, so that's where I left off. So I have you know, since we started this campaign, I paused it pretty quick because, well, the impressions were so bad. I wasn't getting anything, and I just felt like I was moving really slow by getting these keywords in, and so I found a faster workflow.
Okay.
And of course, the workflow is, and I don't know, for the sake of this video, do you think I should demonstrate something?
Yeah, let me see.
Okay, so what I would do is I would jump into SpyFu, and I think this is probably this. You know, this is good. It'll take a few minutes, but if we jump in and we enter a competitor, right? I don't know, what do we have in here? I got all kinds of different things. So I just type this in.
And I think the good takeaway from this, just in general, is there's different ways of doing things.
That's a big one. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Do you have a solar competitor you can think of?
Let's see here.
Solar Direct, Solar Training. I could probably find one real quick. Solar panels for my home. So we got solar. Sungivity is a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So we'll just use Sungivity. So we go Sungivity. So what I want to do. So I'll just use the core keywords. So the core keywords pretty much just mean this section in the gray area here. Everybody's bidding on these words, which means there's probably a good chance that they're decent words. And I come over here and I export these as a CSV file. And then it'll save it. So then I'll jump into my one of my solar websites. It's a mess in here. It's like a junk drawer. Welcome to my junk drawer. So let's just check this out. So just drop some keywords in here. Save. Now if we look at this file, this is where I was getting frustrated.
Yeah, it's just like an onslaught of keywords.
Yeah. Let's see. Wait for Excel to do its thing. Oh, it's so slow. Okay, let me close that.
It's slow for everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. Oh, it didn't actually break it up into tiers like the keyword grouper did. Anyway, okay, so let's just assume that I pull these keywords. Now the keyword grouper is what you guys are using. Keyword groups, right?
Yep.
And this is the way you showed me. And this way it works. It's just I lose track. That was my biggest problem. I was losing track of the words I was adding. So here we have, like, you know, the top 1,000 words. We can technically get all of these by just changing this to top 25,000. And then you have a whole shitload of keywords to get into your campaign. However, this is all broad.
Yep.
So we got to run it through our SEO book tool here.
Right.
Because we're running phrase and exact. And this is another thing we need to cover too, the difference between running a phrase and exact campaign and a broad search campaign. Yeah. Okay, so I have, this is probably a ton of keywords. I'm going to export all keywords. And then we'll just leave that there. I just wanted to show for the video what SpyFu pumps out and where I was making my mistakes. So you have, this top level, second level, third level through the fifth level was kind of throwing me off a little bit. So here's your keyword section. So I was naming, I was going like this. I was copying this entire thing and I was naming my ad group this right here, because it looked like, well, this keyword has, you know, pretty much every word in it almost, you know, and then I'd make I'd make an ad group and I would stop there. So I got, you know, that's 4, right?
Right.
And then I'd go, okay, here's another ad group, right? It's basically the same one as this one, you know, except for it's missing one extra word.
Right.
And I would zone out, and I would just do this, and I'd be like, God damn it, you know, I'm like, pretty much, this is dumb, you know, this is, I don't like the way they set these up, you know. Do I make a top level campaign and then just, anyway, it was confusing, right? So then I'm like, okay, what else could I do? So if I grab these keywords, so Command Shift down, I highlight those, I Command C, so I copy those, and then I run over to WordStream, and let's see, I should be logged in. No, I guess not. So I log in. So right now I'm just on their trial, and they have this little, I think it's manage, yeah, a Flash. This guy's gonna have to update. It's not gonna be around. The internet's running slow. Must be everybody's getting home from work. Okay, so if I go to View All Tools, I jump into this keyword grouper, and I drop. It can only do 10,000 at a time. I probably grabbed more than that. So anyway, yeah. So I have all these broad, probably up to 10,000 in there right now. Broad match keywords and keyword get groupings. What this guy does, and I really like this, is that it will not only does it segment everything into like all of these groups, right?
Right.
But it saves it as a zip file into a folder, which makes adding them to your campaign a lot easier to manage. Like you can track what you've done, you know.
Yep.
Excel, you can do the same thing, but for me, I just kept getting confused, mainly because that top tier bullshit was
and I mean,
throwing me off.
Like I said, the beauty of all this stuff is that there's many ways to do it. There's no
surefire.
There's no right and wrong way to do any of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. And but yeah. Anyway, I've did I already do this? Okay. Oh yeah. Money words. Let's see here. We'll just pop them in here. So for those of us who are at this point where we're trying to add 20,000 keywords into a campaign, this is one strategy that I think works a little bit better.
Yeah.
So you can see right now it's just updating, but so now I have a spreadsheet for every. And here's another thing. So I could sort this. Like if I want to focus in on the bigger lists,
yeah,
and get those bigger numbers first early on. I think, is that it? No, let's jump over here. I can sort this by size and just focus on the big ones first.
Right.
So, oh, well, there we go. So these 2,000 byte, 2,000 bit. So you
little
open
tiny
this up.
Groups.
Yeah. So so this is for the ad group home, and then I can Control Shift down, and it's going to give me 65 keywords. A lot tighter, right? It's a lot tighter. And then we jump into WordStream. Where's that at? Or not WordStream. This guy here. It's tools.seobook.com. Grab these. Select these. What I like too is like when I'm done, I can come over here and then I can highlight this and it lets me know that I finished it.
Yep.
So I can just work through this list patiently.
Yeah.
Or impatiently.
I like that workflow.
Okay, cool.
Good.
So just to make sure. And then
it's whatever works well.
Whatever floats your boat. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, that's good. That's good. I like that.
But yeah, these are a lot tighter, I think, and the less confusing. So.
And the tighter the key, I mean, Google even says in their documentation of AdWords, like the tighter your ad groups are, the better your quality scores.
Yeah. So something like that would be a good ad.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Exactly. Cool. So. For those who want to watch this video and they need a strategy, that's a strategy.
Yep.
and just do that over and over until you got 20,000 keywords in there. And you don't have to worry about fancy pivot tables or downloading the AdWords editor and all that other stuff, which I wasted a day on. Just getting mad. God. I swear.
But it's fun. Some people are like,
they're into it.
Freaking wizards with the AdWords editor.
Oh man, I wish they would put some videos up on YouTube because I couldn't find anything past 2011.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice and old.
Nice and old and out of date. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to turn this back on, I think, now that I have a better workflow for keywords. And ideally what I want to do is I just want to get... Oh, and we wanted to talk a little bit about North versus South, right? Did you want to talk about mindset a little bit?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, so basically, when we were looking at this last time, a couple things that were interesting, and this goes into understanding the demographic of the end user. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with solar, there's two types of main demographics that are going to be interested in calling about solar. Okay, so the Southwest, and you'll notice too, as you looked at that list of states and cities and whatnot in the solar campaign,
right.
It's not the entire U.S. So you'll see that there's like the Southwest and the Northeast. Those are two major areas where these solar call centers want calls from.
Gotcha.
So with that said, and this goes into, kind of, you have to do your due diligence with researching any type of campaign you're going into. It's all well and good to see, shiny payouts of $100 here and there, but, you're going to do much better in your campaign overall if you understand why somebody wants to buy something or call a phone number or submit a lead or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Southwest, the people that live in the Southwest, solar panels and solar energy has been talked about for a very, very long time. And most people understand what solar panels do to their utility bill and so on and so forth. So in their minds, it's already like engraved in their minds how solar panels can benefit them. So, you would want to target these people, have a campaign, or I would have a separate two separate campaigns, maybe like one that just targets Northeast states, and one that just targets the Southwest states. And the ones in the Southwest, you're going to want to be tailoring your ads to, how they can be switching to XYZ solar panels, and they will save, I don't know, some arbitrary amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, not arbitrary, but you'd want to research, what the average person saves in Arizona on solar panels and whatnot, and kind of tailor your ad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is a big angle right here.
Right.
Off your power bill.
Yeah, exactly. So on the flip side, the people in the Northeast, these people are
uneducated.
I live in New Jersey, so I can tell you right now that like people in New Jersey are just catching on now about solar panels. I mean, I have a friend that has a large property. They probably have like 50 acres or something. And they just recently started learning about how solar panels can subsidize their utility bill and whatnot. So the people in the Northeast need to be kind of educated in why they should consider solar panels. You know what I mean? So on one side you have educated customers, and on the other side you have uneducated customers, but both of them can provide good quality calls to a call center.
Yeah.
You just need to have your ads tailored to the people you're talking to.
You probably the Northeast is less. I would say I would think that they're, what's the word? They require more education. Therefore, the focus probably isn't as prevalent. Like, you're not going to have as much competition here, in my opinion, because it takes a little more work to get these people to convert.
It's going to be a little bit more work, but you'll also notice. Well, I didn't look at your payouts, but I do know that New Jersey, I feel like it's New Jersey or Connecticut or one of those, they are paying a ton of money.
Oh, are they? Cool.
Oh yeah, like I don't know if it's with Palo or maybe it's with Hyper Target.
I got both. I don't know if I got it.
I can find some, but some of the Northeast states per call are just like outrageous on payout, like 40, 50, 60 bucks.
It's just a Solar Star got that campaign going. That's the one it just got approved.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was getting calls from our affiliate manager friend.
See if you see the bottom, it goes up to $40.
So that's probably for areas
they have a breakdown somewhere, but
yeah,
people in the Northeast, it's probably a bit more effort to get to them, but it's more of an untapped thing. But what's interesting too is you talked about the zip codes and whatnot of certain cities not being able to take solar panels, like New York. Do they have New York there? Yeah.
New York's in this one.
Oh, it's New York, but you can't install solar panels in New York City. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
I don't know if they really allow that to be. It's probably not worth their time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
So you just got to kind of think about the people. Oh, there's your.
Do you see a payout or something?
Payout. There's Hawaii. Oh yeah. See, look, Connecticut, 30.
Oh,
Massachusetts, 24. Maryland, 28.
Northeast. Yeah.
Northeast does tend to pay a little bit more, but they're all pretty good payouts.
Even Hawaii. So how would you target a Northeasterner? Because you're not sending them to a landing page to educate them, right? You're
right.
There's still the goal is to get them on the phone, connected to a call center. So what, in your opinion, would an ad look like for somebody that needs to be educated? Or
well, you know what I would probably do instead of I'm not going to say instead of me just coming up with something on the spot.
Okay.
But I would probably
could we do a search, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably try to see if who the competitors are bidding on some state keywords, see what their ads look like, and see the duration of time they use these ads.
Yeah, so we could definitely do that. Well, let's see. Solar panels in Maryland, right?
Yeah, sure.
So this is supposed to. Oh, that worked really great. Solar panels, Maryland. So no calls, maybe because it's after hours on the East Coast.
It could be. Oh, you're using your.
I'm just using a user agent switcher. Usually, you get PP paper calls ads this way.
Yeah. So, I don't see any targeting. Well, that says California.
Yeah. Okay. It's probably.
But that's well, that's an ad right there, huh? Financing available, 30% federal tax credit. It's interesting.
There's quotes. That's like an East Coast or West Coast, Southwest. Past no obligation. Yeah, it's just more.
So I would try that mysolarainstaller.com/California or just mysolarainstaller.com.
Ooh.
See if you can plug that into SpyFu and see if you can see what their ads look like.
Yeah, there may be a / Maryland.
Yeah, there might be.
Let's check out. See how it changes. It's funny. My solar. What was that called again?
mysolarainstaller.com, I think.
Glad you remembered that. And we we build the groups. Oh, well, let's come over here. Okay. So if we look at ad history,
funny.
I wonder if I could. You know, they're probably running it. No. Well, these are the ads they're running.
Like that bottom one, it says. Oh no, there's
one right there, right?
There's one right there, huh?
So compare free solar quotes now. Lower your energy bill.
See that? Yeah, that's
yeah.
So I would, one thing you all and I tell everybody this is you don't have to always recreate the wheel.
Right.
If you see trends that are happening, I mean,
catch
them. Some of my best ads have just been from, copying what has worked and tweaking it slightly. And sometimes, tell you the truth, sometimes you don't really need to tweak anything. These people have been spending tons of money.
Yeah, why
affect ads? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't change too much. Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't change much more than my phone number.
Right. So I mean, these are all things to consider.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, this is good. This is really informative, right? This is another takeaway too. It's like if you are working in other regions, take a few minutes and look at the keywords in those regions. It's funny that Maryland popped up.
Yeah, right.
And California popped up. So like, okay, so this is a Maryland one.
Right,
and this is it's the same. Okay. Get four quotes for your home and save. Fast, free, local, no obligation. Okay.
It's interesting.
And
but I'd also compare it with
others, right?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 different people competing.
Like here's a competitor
within. By the way, what is that? What did you use to switch to
this user agent switcher?
Yeah, what's it called?
That's all it's called. User-agent switcher for Google Chrome.
Okay, for Chrome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I used an emulator one. It was super buggy though. The one you used looked pretty legit.
I like it because it's all here, right? Nexus tablets and iPhone.
Cool.
Those idiots that buy that shit there. I don't know who does that, but
go to iPhone and
yeah, it works though. It definitely works. It works really good. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So next steps for me. I'm gonna fire this campaign back up. I want to clean these up. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend a little time, and probably, I've got time into these, but I think they're just sloppy, honestly. So I'm gonna rebuild these ad groups, and I'm gonna launch this campaign again and get some impressions going, and see if we can't get a couple of conversions, and then come back for some optimization strategies. Does that sound like an idea?
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So I don't know. With that being said, I mean, I think we covered a lot today, actually.
Yeah, I think so too.
We've got we definitely got we got a strategy for getting ad groups and keywords into a campaign. We've talked about we've talked about like pay attention to this stuff. I'm learning this.
The campaign info is not only should you read the entire overview right there, pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
But I also talk to your rep, whoever your rep is, and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and typically, especially to the guys that I intro to, they're typically the guys that own the network, or they're in a very senior position, and they're not going to like play games with you.
Yeah, ask about, like, this is big. Ask about caps on your offer.
Ask about caps, yeah.
Best times to run.
Yeah, if you're running conversions and you randomly get a dip in conversions and you really haven't touched your campaign, try calling the number, seeing if there's a problem. Sometimes the call center's down. Sometimes they ran out of cap, like you said. So
stay on it.
Yep.
What else? Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, that's a big takeaway. Like, I gotta send an email to Anthony from Palo because I'm making phone calls for these guys and they're not paying me. And we've also noticed that You know, it goes right to an answering machine, and it's like that's not doing anybody any good. They're not telling me this. They're not saying, hey, oh, by the way, you know, turn your campaign off.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, and they're not going to, right?
and they're not. Yeah.
Because what could happen, and you also have to keep in mind, like, I would say it's a small percentage of the time that the network actually is aware of this. The call centers play games. They might not even play games, but they just don't care. So if you're sending a call and the person leaves a voicemail, you're not getting paid for that. You know what I mean? But they're still gonna hit that person back in the morning.
Yeah.
You know? So you need to advocate yourself on these campaigns.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And I'm guilty of not taking any, because I'm all, you know, being a new person in this industry, I assume that people have already hammered this all out. Like, these problems shouldn't exist, and that's the wrong mindset to have. You just got you definitely got to assume that shit's broken.
Another thing is at a certain point, these people, especially the networks really need good affiliates. So if you can prove that, you know, you're transparent and you're trying to create good quality calls coming in, these people will go above and beyond.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense. I mean, that's what you want, because they're like employees in a lot of ways, and you want good employees, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Sweat them. Have you ever used this test call button over here?
I haven't, but
I guess it's
here, let's go for it.
What's your phone number? That's my phone number. I have no idea what it's doing, but wouldn't it be weird if it... I wonder if it's going to call my phone.
It might.
What good is that? Let's call your phone number. Yeah.
I don't have my phone on me right now.
I got mine. Oh, yeah, look at that. All right. So I have...
Thanks for calling Go American Solar. If you're a homeowner with a monthly electric bill over $99 a month, press 1 now. If you're not a homeowner, please enter the 5-digit zip code of your desired location, followed by the pound sign. You entered the zip code for Seaside, California. If this is correct, press 1. Otherwise, please... Thanks. Your location has been verified. Sorry, we are not able to offer our solar programs in your area. Goodbye.
And there you go.
So I would say to anybody else watching this, use that test call feature just to see what the IVR says, and if it's like a home service one, you know what I would probably also do, which you don't have to do, but I would probably pick out one of those cities, find out the zip code, and just test it for the heck of testing.
Oh, that's a good idea. I mean? Yeah. Just
make sure, but
that's a good way to do it.
Anyways, I think you got it.
I think so. Yeah.
you got a lot to.
I got a lot to work. I got a lot ahead of me. It's good. I got a weekend to work on it, and I'm excited. It just feels like I've sharpened the sword a little bit more. You know.
Yeah, it's a refining process. I mean, and another thing is you never, as far as I'm concerned, you never end up fully. Like you can make good profit days all the time, but you're constantly learning stuff all the time. You're never just going to be like, oh, well, I've mastered this and can't get any better. You know what I mean? Especially with search. Search is an ever-changing landscape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just came out with the whole payday loan thing just happened last week, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it's constantly changing. Got to be on top of it.
Yep.
Okay, my friend. I think that's probably enough for this video, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good amount of material.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna kill it, and the video will be done. So that's pretty good.